We're going to be doing a little bit different stuff this time. Not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of just how the video is going to work, because for very long reasons that I'm going to eventually get to, I had a really rough previous week, and I'm only just now basically getting a day off to do stuff, so I don't really have a whole lot of time to put in the effort for, like, the editing of the, like, Pokemon bios and all that, so I'm just gonna actually skip that this time, and anything new that I catch in this video, I think I'm just gonna do, like, a supplementary video later on to do those. And I know there's gonna be some people who, like, actually will kind of prefer that, because I know not everybody enjoys them, like, taking over so much time that is in the video, but I still stand by my original claim that, like, the reason for doing these is, it helps fill dead air. That's really my main reason for doing it. Because when I was playing through Yellow, I could have it going at, like, super fast speed, so it wasn't so bad. This one I don't really have that luxury, so it's just, I don't know, I like having it. But anyway, as you just saw there, I caught a Venonat. I'm about to catch this Oddish here. That's already 2 out of the 3 things available in the forest. Didn't really realize that Oddish was night only when I started playing through this game. I just happened to see that on, like, Cerebi, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll have to work around that, but there were other nighttime exclusives, so it wasn't a big deal. One of the things in here is actually available on other routes, though, so I'll look for it a little bit, but if it doesn't show up, I'll just catch it somewhere else. It's not a big deal. So anyway, last time was 2 hours long, because we included a bunch of unnecessary, like, hatching egg footage and talking over that, and it was kind of a nightmare. This one I'm expecting to be a lot shorter. I don't really have any major end goal for this one other than probably beat Whitney. I'm just gonna kind of go through the next route after this, fight some trainers, get some levels, and then fight her, and I don't really know what else. It is a Tuesday, so that actually means there is a particular, like, in-game event that I can take advantage of here. Here's Psyduck. That's the 3rd thing available in the forest. Luckily, they all showed up without taking forever. But yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. I didn't do a video last week just because I didn't freaking have the, like, motivation to do it. And as you will probably remember from the last video, I went on a very long rant about the garbage going on at Pizza Hut. That very much continued, because last week was the 50% off coupon week, which, combined with the lack of good management and lack of cooks, really was enjoyable. So it basically made weekdays not so horrible, but definitely more busy than they would be, and the weekend was just kind of an absolute nightmare. Now for the, like, 20 people that are watching the Chibi Robo videos, you're gonna be probably hearing a bit of redundancy here, and for everybody else, you're gonna be hearing some redundancy in about 9 months when those go public. So it's, I don't want to, like, completely go over everything that I've already said in those. It's kind of unnecessary. I don't plan on ranting throughout this whole video by any means, but basically it was just one of the worst days ever. We got up to, like, I think it was 330 orders, which is actually not that high, but that's only because they basically stopped taking all orders by, like, 9, I think. Like, I had to call Ashley and say that we had 54 orders on screen at once, and deliveries were taking more than 3 hours to get out. And she turned off the ability for people to order online, and then they finally turned off the phones also, so it was pretty bad. Like, I had people helping me, but there wasn't any dough, and every single thing that we made had to be remade, because idiots and lose everything, or it's like, oh, this pizza is supposed to not have black olives on half. Can you remake? I'm like, can they pick them off? Like, is it that big of a fucking deal? Just stupid shit like that. And so, as of yesterday, well, actually, I guess technically as of Sunday, I keep kind of reminding people who these, like, whenever I use these names, like, I'm trying to remind everyone who they are, because I don't expect you to, like, know every person that I work with. But Ashley was the old, like, manager of the store, and then got promoted to area coach. Here's Drazi, by the way. That's the only reason I'm searching for stuff in the grass here, because this is here. She came in on Sunday to try to take care of some of the damage that had already been done from the previous day. And apparently Paula, the one that I really hated, who never did fucking anything, actually ended up quitting. It was either quitting or being fired / transferred to a different store. I think it was a combination of both. And I'm just like, thank God. Like, I don't even care who we get in to replace her. Like, I feel like a trained monkey could honestly do a better job. But, at least for this next week, Ashley's actually going to be at the store, and, she's also gotten Allie to come back, which is nice because she would get shit done and was nice to have around. So, I don't know how long that's going to last, but, I'm at least happy for the change, and, kind of hopeful for things to get better, because, basically she said that, she's just so freaking tired of the store going to shit every single weekend, and all these customers getting pissed off and not getting their orders for hours, and, like, the employees being overworked to death, and the upper management above her not doing anything about it. Like, the thing is, a lot of the reason that this is happening is just because they don't really know what they're doing. Like, because remember, like, the Pizza Huts in the Dallas area got bought out by this other franchise. So, like, they're basically hiring people into stores that have no experience, and then when things go wrong, they refuse to admit that they caused a problem and blame it on the employees for not supporting the new people and stuff like that. What am I doing? I actually want to check the basement of the department store because there might be a free item or two down there. But yeah, so it's like, they hire these 2 new people, they're there for 3 weeks, they fail massively, and then they're like, oh, it's just, nobody gave them a chance, they needed support, because they're just learning, and I'm like, they're the managers, like, we're not supposed to support them, they're supposed to support us. And Ashley told him that, and is like, maybe you should listen to me when I say don't hire on people that don't know what they're doing and have never worked at a Pizza Hut before, and having them go to a really busy store. But they won't listen, and the thing is, like, they're like, okay, well, we're gonna get rid of both of them, we'll get someone new in, but they didn't have anybody planned. So it just kind of goes from, we have 2 managers one day and none the next. So she's just like, if this shit keeps happening, I'm just gonna freaking step down and take over the store again. And I'm like, please do. Like, it would be so much freaking better if you were here. But yeah. So that area down there is weird. I don't really know what causes those boxes to move. It might be based off of the day of the week or the time of day. It might also just be like if you go in and out enough times, they move. I've never bothered to look that up. It's always just been this like really weird mechanic for me. So anyway, let's go ahead and I guess still give Julie some levels. I like to keep my team as even as possible, so this is purely going to be for experience. God, now that I've gotten that out of my system, it's like I could go into more detail on some of it, but I don't know if I really need to. I kind of get tired of talking about work. Well, it depends on who I'm talking to, because right now I'm talking to a faceless crowd of people that don't know the experience as much as I do, and it's like I can talk about how bad it is, but I know people kind of enjoy it, but it's like, it's gonna get tedious after a while. Whereas, whenever I see, like, Allie outside of work or anything, basically it just turns into bitching about work for about 2 hours. Like, one time she came over and, like, we were supposed to watch a movie together, like, with Martin, and, we didn't watch the movie, we just bitched about work for 2 hours, and suddenly it was, like, 4 a.m. And it's like, okay, I guess we'll see you later. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's like I'm trying to manage my schedule around this, because it's like, I don't even work that many hours. It's usually about 7 a day. Like, on a weekend, I usually get in at 5, and I'm theoretically done by 12, but I have to stay a little bit later to, like, help clean up and stuff, so usually, like, between 12:30 and 1. I used to actually have to stay a lot longer, but I've managed to kind of escape earlier, and I think that's just a side effect of Martin being at a different store now and being able to come pick me up, and it's like, oh, my ride's here, say bye. Like, but it's like, I don't work that long, but it's so freaking tiring that when I come home, like, even if it's only like 11 o'clock, like, for me that's not that late. I'm gonna be up until like 3 or 4 anyway, but I don't want to record a video. It's like, I just can't fucking be bothered to do it. So it's like, I'll come home and it's like, okay, I'll work on some BA3 sprite work or something. I'll get something done. And then 4 hours and several stupid YouTube videos later, I'm like, oh shit, I never did anything. Okay, well, I'll do something tomorrow. And then I get up at like 11:30 because I sleep way too late. Oh, that was, what the hell? Why was that so little damage? I get up, it's like, oh, I'll do something before work. Nope. Mainly just because I don't like to always hog the computer, but also just because I am tired and don't want to freaking do it. So, I don't know. I'm doing this now because I can't put it off any longer. I did actually do some BA3 sprite work earlier. I'm still very much hoping to get that finished by the end of the month. Now that the 50% off week of hell is over, I could at least theoretically get stuff done on work days if I don't be lazy. Like, my goal really is just to have the title screen finished. Like, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. I started, like, BA3 officially started being worked on and not just in planning phase as of January 23rd, and it's, getting close to the 3-month mark here. Actually, what day is today? 24th. So yeah, actually, it's, we're pretty much at that 3-month mark, but let's, round it up to just the end of the month in general. If I can have my freaking intro screen, let's just use Ice Punch, my intro screen and title screen finished by then. It's not much, but it's at least something tangible that I can say I finished and I can show it off. And that's just kind of what I've been wanting to do for a while. I feel like I might be able to progress faster when I'm not having to make custom sprites for, like, everything and linking together, like, complicated animations, and instead just basically putting together, like, normal screens that you walk through and, like, defeat enemies, solve puzzles, whatever, like, just overworld screens. Like, that shouldn't take as long. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Because I've also still not really worked that much with the Dance of Remembrance tile set, and I know that it is kind of a bitch to work with, so... I don't know. Plus, I still have to I do have to make some custom assets, because the first area of the game that you're going to be in after the title screen is, a village that's been abandoned and is going to be in, like, kind of a state of disrepair. And so it's like I can use the normal village sprites, like the houses and stuff, but I'll need to add, like, garbage in the streets and, like, flyers that you can look at and stuff like that. I don't know why I keep looking at my team as if it's going to be anything different. I'd like to frickin' evolve my Totodile at some point also, but I don't want to, like, specifically give it levels to do that. I'll just wait until it gets there. Also, not to spoil anything that's coming up later, I don't want to talk about any future team members, because I want it to be a surprise when they show up, but, hoo boy, some of them have some frickin', like, I hesitate to say bad movesets, because having a moveset at all implies that it learns moves. Like, they're pretty bad. I'm gonna try to make them work anyway, but, yeah, there's gonna be a few coming up relatively soon. None of them are in Kanto, I'll say that much. I'll have the full team before the Elite Four. And, there will be a few available in the next couple videos, at least. It's hard to really say for sure. It depends on how quickly I go through stuff. Alright, so... sudden loud riff. So I forget what this guy has. I want to say Vulpix. No. I was gonna say Magmar at first, and then I'm like, no. So yeah, remember all my bitching about the uselessness of baby Pokemon and how they were never implemented correctly? And how this Magmar should probably be a Magby, because it's under level 30? Yeah. Because Magmar itself is going to be available in the next city. I like how it said sound, city and town combined. If this was Gen 1, Ice Punch would actually be neutral against it. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It's like, hey, let's introduce these baby Pokemon so the, like, stronger stuff that we don't want to have available early on can have, like, a better way to get it, and then they just stick Magmar there anyway. Like, okay, whatever. Not that Magmar's all that great anyway, but it's not bad. Let's actually switch out here. How much experience do you need? Actually, not that much. You might be getting a Croconaw soon. Not really sure why they staggered the evolution levels in Gen 2 like that, because, I don't think I've talked about this in the Pokemon bios. If I did, it was very short and didn't draw much attention to it, but it's kind of weird. Like, in Gen 1, all three of the starters hit their second form by level 16, and then Charizard and Blastoise are both level 36, but Venusaur is 32. And they've kind of done that with a lot of other generations, where the grass starter evolves earlier, and I don't really know why that is. Like, they've said a few times that, like, grass Pokemon are easy to raise or whatever, so I guess this is just their way of doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and heal, screw it. I do have some potions, but I'm so low on money, I don't want to waste them. So it's like, I don't really get why they did that, but it's not a huge deal. In this one, they have Chikorita evolve at the same rate that Bulbasaur does, so 16 and then 32. Cyndaquil evolves early, but then late, so it's 14 and then 36. Not that 36 is late, but it's the latest of the three. And then Totodile evolves late, but then early. It's 18, then 30. So it's like... It kind of works. Like, each one of them kind of has, like, their benefit. It's like with Totodile, if you stick with it for a little bit longer, like, it doesn't reach its second form too quick, but then when it does... Oh, why am I putting you in front? I'm, like, not paying attention at all. Also, I got a charcoal, and I never attached it when I do that. Do I have any other held items? Oh yeah, I've got the King's Rock. King's Rock works on such a random selection of moves. I think it's like... It's supposed to be things that don't already have a secondary effect. So... I don't know if it's gonna work on Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Dizzy Punch, because they have secondary effects. What do you know again? Tackle, Rock Throw. Yeah. Does Rock Throw cause flinch? I know Rock Slide does. I don't think it. I'll go ahead and give this one the King's Rock. It's fitting anyway, because it's made of rocks. But anyway. Quillfish? Uncle Ralph, huh? Good for you. So yeah, still no Quillfish. Anyway, this guy here, I'm pretty sure this is the dude that has, like, a level 2 Voltorb. So I didn't even really need to go heal, but I mean, I would have wanted to heal for the next person anyway, so whatever. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. How much experience are we going to get out of this? I'm going to guess 14. That's actually quite a bit more than I expected. Still barely made a dent, though. Level 4? Nope, 6. I don't know what his highest is. I want to say a 12. Like, these are so underleveled. It's such a pointless fight. I don't get it. They do this with trainers a lot. Like, usually there's the one asshole that has 6 Magikarp that just wastes your time. Johto, in particular, just has a lot of these waste-of-time trainers. Like, I don't know what happened. They really, really messed up the level curve in this one. I feel like if they had just made the Elite Four in their 50s, like, maybe even, like, the final Pokemon that you fight be, like, a level 60, and then, like, made the rest of the game before that, like, properly lead up to that level, like, have the last gym be high 40s, early 50s, like, kinda eke it up properly and not have, like, level 30s in the 7th gym. Like, then we wouldn't have... I don't know. I shouldn't complain about it too much until it actually starts becoming a problem. I remember, like, in Gen 2 and in the remakes, you just hit this sudden spike in levels where it's like, you're doing 20, 20, 30, 30... like, and then just all of a sudden, you're in, like, the mid-40s, and you're like, wait, where did this come from? So yeah, the cops will actually battle you if it's nighttime. There is another cop back on Route 34 I should go battle. Growlithe reminds me, I believe on, not this route, but the next one, in, Silver, you can find Vulpix. And the only reason I point this out is because, like, if I was going to be trading over version exclusives at the earliest they become available in the, like, paired games, then I would need a Vulpix around that point. But, since I don't actually have Silver, I have Gold, I would have to send one from Yellow, and I don't have access to trading with Gen 1 games quite yet, so whatever, we'll get it pretty soon anyway. There's also a bit of difference in what Pokemon are available on these next couple routes between GS versus Crystal. Nothing too major. The main stuff that's available here, they moved into the National Park. But it's daytime only, so I won't be able to catch it right now anyway. Alright, well, we hit 18, so we're about to get our evolution. And the levels are actually evening out a bit, so that's good. Good. I'm not sure what order I'm going to start. Oh, thank you. Can I, not battle with Kenya, please? I'd like the... Okay. So, like, I'd like the experience to not be split into 17 different directions, but whatever. And here I don't even want to stay in, because I'm going to fricking die, so I'm going to switch anyway, and then it's going to use Roar, and then we're just going to be stuck in an infinite cycle. And burn. Surprisingly not. I was waiting for the burn with the attack drop. Oh no, we can miss with rock throw also. Okay. Oh my god. What's rock throw's accuracy? 75? Okay, I'm actually going to look it up now. Let's see. We're just going to stare at this screen while I look up what rock throw's accuracy is, because that is really stupid. 90? There's no way it's 90. Cerebi says it's 90. I could check Bulbapedia, but I'm not going to bother looking it up. So if it's 90... Good God. So that was a 10% chance of missing, and then again, and then again. And I don't really know how how to do the math on probability, where it's like, I don't think it's 10% times 10% times 10%. I think it's something a little bit more complicated than that, but that's still a freaking low chance. Good lord. And then I press B. No, we're not going to be doing that. This might actually be the last new Pokemon I get in this video, because I think all the new stuff that's available in National Park and the following route is exclusive to daytime. What do you want? Well, I mean, I kind of want to go back to heal anyway, so sure, I'll see what that is. If it's like a super potion, that wouldn't be bad. Not that I'll have any Pokemon with 50 HP until, like, the 6th gym. Okay, that was a slight exaggeration. Freshwater's better anyway, it's cheaper. Okay, what do we got? And before, it's just, like, a berry. Oh, it was a super potion, okay. I guess we'll fight that other cop. Look at that tiny cop! Can you tell that I'm putting off Whitney's gym? I actually don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I have stuff that can counter it. Like, people slightly overreact to how hard it is, but it really just depends on how prepared you are. Like, obviously anybody can say, like, oh, if you are having a bad time, catch a Geodude, it'll resist rollout. Like, yeah, but what if you don't want to add a Geodude to your team? Or it's like, use the in-game trade Machop. Okay, well, I don't want to. But it really just comes into, like, if you've been only raising, like, 1 or 2 Pokemon and they're both weak to Rock, then you're gonna not have a pleasant time with it. Oh boy, is it gonna be Kenya? Nope, okay. Croc have a pillory. Go away. Light screen, do I want that? I don't really need Dizzy Punch and Quick Attack. I've been using Quick Attack, but mainly just for, like, whittling down wild Pokemon and for, finishing stuff off that's at super low health. And Electabuzz should already have a pretty decent speed stat, so I don't think I need it. Light Screen might be helpful, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Might regret that slightly later, but it's Quick Attack, it's not anything massively amazing. Okay, so we finished that route up, and now I've actually gotten Julie to catch up with the rest, so we'll do some organization here. I don't really have like a target level that I'm aiming for before I do the gym. I just figured I'd clear out the routes that are available to me. There's still a couple people left here. But yeah, so this is this Bug Catcher Arnie right here? Let's see. Waits 20 minutes for it to load. Yep, okay. So Bug Catcher Arnie is somewhat noteworthy because he's one of the people who will call you about a swarm. There is a swarm on this route. As with most swarms, I do have a 1% chance of encountering it anyway, but unless I get super lucky or decide to spend an unreasonable amount of time here right now, then it's probably not going to happen. So we'll just come back when it swarms. So I want to get his number. I'm trying to think what other swarms are even left. Because in Gold and Silver, there were swarms for Snubbull and Meryl, but then they definitely made Snubbull more common in Crystal because I already got one and it wasn't that rare. Meryl, I don't remember if they did. I want to say they might have. And then also there was Remoraid, which was a Swarmer, and they just removed that from Crystal entirely. So this might be the last one. Actually, that's not true, because I think there's also, like, Chansey and maybe Tauros, but those are, like, not... I usually don't consider those, like, among the other swarms just because they're older Pokemon and less interesting. I know Tauros is not even that rare anyway. I think it's, like, maybe 5%, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think there was another guy down here, maybe an item, so we'll check that out. Also, when I said that that was probably the last new Pokemon I would catch in the video, I forgot about the National Park here. So we're going to check that out in a minute. Unless that only happens in the daytime, I actually don't remember. Is that Roar? I feel like that's Roar. Oh, it's Rollout. Okay. That might be in my interest eventually. I don't really want to teach my starters any TMs because I'm going to be dropping them eventually, so... Oh well. Really, no hidden item here? That's surprising. What's your story? You are going to have a... Oh, you're a bird keeper. I was going to say a Nidoran, but nope. Oh boy, Pidgey! I don't know why I thought that Poison Powder would work. I should have known better. What's the accuracy of the powder moves? I think 75. Then again, I thought that Rock Throw was different than what it was, so I don't know. I know Sing is like 55. I think Sleep Powder is 75. And then Poison Powder and Stun Spore are the same. How many times can we miss with Rock Throw today? I think we're, what is that, 3 misses versus 2 hits? Let's keep that ratio going. Alright, we gotta miss at least twice against the Pidgeotto. on a good track. There's no way this is 90. I'm sorry, this is not 90 accuracy. I forgot, actually, in Gen 1 you can't actually check your moves, like, info. You just kind of have to use it in battle a few times and see what it does for you. I'm pretty sure there is an option in Gen 2 that lets you look at your move info. I'm gonna check that. Because I am getting some seriously shitty RNG with Rock Throw here if this is 90. attack 50. Okay, it doesn't actually tell you accuracy, it just says power. I'm gonna probably call bullshit on that 90%. Maybe in a later generation. I think I've had better luck with Slam. And I've always considered Slam to just be one of the most useless, inaccurate moves out there. And even that one's only like 70, I think. It's not even that bad. And then again, looking at how many times I've missed with Tackle in this playthrough. Best thing about Psyduck's Cry is just the fact that it loops on itself in the cry of, I think it's either female symbol or 44 high. It's one of the glitch Pokemon from Gen 1. It's like boodle 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 boodle. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do this now. I was gonna say, like, do I want to fight the trainers first? Not really. I don't have any sleep or paralysis moves, unfortunately. And Poison, in other generations, I think does increase catch rate, but it's always risky because they can die if you don't catch them fast enough. But I think in Gen 2, they, like, made it so it actually doesn't increase catch rate, so it wouldn't do any good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just bring you in, because I can hope to get lucky with a Thunder Punch or something. So just in case you have never played a Gen 2 game and you don't know what this is, it'll explain it in a minute, and I'll explain it in better detail. So this is the bug catching contest. It's kind of a replacement for the Safari Zone. Basically, like, Safari Zone, you can only throw balls and not actually battle the Pokemon, but you can like throw bait and rocks to like mess with their catch rate and stuff. This one is more straightforward than that. And actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't even really matter that I okay, hold on. Yeah. I immediately changed my mind because I just remembered how this thing works. I don't actually want to be damaging stuff. So I'm just going to bring in something that can take hits. Because with the bug catching contest, as he explains, you get to keep the last thing that you can catch. Like, you can catch more than one thing, but only the last one ever counts. And depending on what you catch, you get a certain number of points. And basically just, it's you versus a bunch of computers, and whoever gets the most points wins a, I think it's like a Sunstone for first place, and I forget what the other ones are. But the amount of points that you get depends on a few different factors. It's type of, it's like basically what Pokemon you get, what level it is, but also for some reason how much HP it has when you catch it. So it's actually, if you want to win the contest, it's in your best interest to just lob balls at stuff without weakening it. It's a little bit dumb. But, bug catching contest is kind of cool, though. The Pokemon that are available here are different from the things that you normally encounter in the national park when it's not the bug catching contest. I'm skipping over a Butterfree because I'm hoping to get something better. In Gold version, you can normally find Caterpie and Metapod just in like various early routes, but you can never find Weedle Kakuna. And in Silver, it's the opposite. But Bug Catching Contest will have both, so this is your only way of getting the opposite one. This is also the only way of getting Butterfree and Beedrill, I think, in the originals. You might be able to get them from Headbutting Trees, I don't remember. I know you can get them in Crystal. So that's why I'm not bothering with those this time, because it's like, I could just evolve the Caterpie or whatever, but I usually like to try to catch the, like, various stages of a Pokemon as separate things instead of evolving them. It's just a thing with me. But here, if I can get them somewhere else, I'd rather go for something a bit more special. Because there's a couple things here that are fairly cool. Venonat is not one of them, but it's alright, I suppose. So yeah, we might be here for a while. And I'm totally not looking through Poke Earth right now to, like, check on what I said about the headbutting trees. Not at all. It helps if I would know, like, what routes... Oh, here we go. Here's a Pinsir. Okay. So yeah, Pinsir I'd say is the second best Pokemon you can get here. In terms of, like, points, it's probably tied with the other one, but, I mean, there's no spoilers here. The other one is Scyther. Like, if you didn't guess that, then whatever, you know now. So yeah, let's try and catch this thing then, and, it'll be good for dex filling and also for getting me a Sunstone that I don't really want or need for quite a while, probably. Okay, Butterfree and Beedrill are in fact in trees in Gold and Silver. They're still, like, version exclusive, though. Up B trick. Totally works. Now, if I wanted to be a complete asshole, I could look up what Pinsir's catch rate is and, like, figure out what my chances are of catching it in a Park Ball at full health here. So, I'm actually gonna do that. Because, Bulbapedia... Yes? Oh, what, can I not... I'm not looking at the screen, hold on. Okay, then. It always says, like, the chances of catching something at a plain Pokeball at full health. Pinsir, it is 5.9%. A Park Ball, I think, is equivalent to a Great Ball. I actually don't know that for sure. So if it is, then that's a 1.5, like, multiplier on it. So, what, like 8%? So it's not a great chance of catching this, but if I'm patient enough, I will hopefully get it eventually. And if not, then we're gonna soft reset, and I'll just cut back when I have one, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, as I was saying, I've always considered Scyther to be better than Pinsir in pretty much every way, despite using a Pinsir in the last playthrough. Neither of them really learn any bug moves until later generations, so that's kind of lame, but they're both just kind of like high attack power bug types. It's just Scyther's cooler. And Scyther gets a new evolution in Gen 2, which I would have considered using, if not for the fact that it would be redundant with Steelix, so we're going to be passing on that one. So anyway, I got what I wanted, and I don't really think there's any reason for me to hang around here any longer. I don't know why I'm getting into encounters then. I was gonna, like, talk to this dude, but I have no reason to, since I've wasted the time anyway. I like this idea that the Scyther and Pinsir and, like, Butterfree and stuff are not... Sure, let's just get this now, because why not? I like the idea that they're not, like, normally in the park, and they just kind of have, like, a whole bunch of them, like, in storage somewhere that they throw out into the field when it's time to do the contest. Oh, that's a little weird. It's like, okay, we're doing the bug catching contest, so if you're just a Sunkern or a Hoot Hoot or something, you gotta head out for a bit. Can go take up residence in the department store basement. That's where everything goes. It's the new Mario's mustache. If you don't know where something is, it's just in the department store basement. I'm going to try to guess what that TM is. I know 26 is Earthquake. Obviously, Earthquake wouldn't be this early in the game. I think it's in Victory Road. 28, I'm gonna say... Is it Dig? Oh, I can't even use items, I can't check. Either way, let's go ahead and just get through this. I'm not actually guaranteed to win this contest, but I have a pretty high chance of it. Yeah, Weedle. I'm thinking I probably won this one. Yep. I have actually caught a Scyther or Pinsir and still lost to a Caterpie before. I'm just saying. That was before I knew about the, like, catch stuff at full health trick. Alright, so we'll have to come back here on another contest day to catch the Scyther, and that's probably it, because I'll need 2 Sunstones for evolutions. I don't think any of the other prizes are that important. I know one of them is like a Goldberry, which I think heals, what, like 30 HP? Which isn't bad, but you also have no way of growing it, because it's not like later games where you can grow your own berries, you just have to get them off of trees, so it's like... I don't really care about that. I think you might get an Everstone or something, I don't frickin' remember, doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't know why I'm wasting time looking at the PC and shit, I'm like not paying attention to what I'm doing again. Let's head on to Route 36, and I'll actually go back to the National Park after I fight these people. I know there's a guy with a Tangela here, other than that I don't remember what's on this route. I don't think that's Tangela Kid, I think this is Tangela Kid. I don't even know why I remember this, it's just I've gone through these games enough times where I, like, vaguely remember where certain things are. Schoolboy Alan, I think you can also register in the phone, and I want to say he might give you an item. I don't remember, though. I'll talk to him afterwards and see. They usually have some kind of dialogue that indicates if they'll be useful or not. Because I got the girl that gives you leaf stones last time, but there's still 3 other evolution stones I want to get. For some reason, I want to say this guy gives you fire stones, but that doesn't really make sense with his Pokemon. Let's see. Okay, yeah, he does give you stuff. I don't actually know what he gives you, but I guess I'll find out at some point. Just another person. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that she has a Pidgey, because everybody has a Pidgey. If it is a Pidgey, then I don't want to be leading with Basil, so hopefully I'm wrong. Oh, she's not even a trainer. Oh yeah, it's her, okay. Man, if only I had a thing that could, like, squirt water. If I had a Pokemon with water gun or something, that'd be cool. Too bad I don't have one. This is a good route. I'm a fan of this route. It has, basically nothing on it. Other than 2 people and a Wiggly Tree. But, also, I think the, Pokemon in the grass here are... like, strangely underleveled, because this is the same route that had the... This is the one that you can reach from Violet City, where you can catch Growlithe, and the grass is normally not available there. In Gold and Silver, they moved it. So it's like we get through several routes of, like, level 12, 13 stuff, and then here it's just, like, 6. Sounds about right for Johto. Is this what we're gonna be doing? Just fighting things that can't fight back? I mean, sure, I guess. Oh no, my accuracy. I'm actually surprised that that managed to hit anyway. Given my luck with accuracy in this game, one flash probably would have been enough to make me miss like 5 times in a row under other circumstances. So whose bright idea, also pun, because it's bright, I'm talking about Flash, whose bright idea was it to make Flash an accuracy reducing move with really shitty accuracy? Like, what is the point of that? And what's the deal with airline food? And where the hell is Frank Stallone? Okay, I'll shut up. I was about to think, I'm like, is it actually a bad idea for me to be using Kadabra here, or to be attacking this with special moves? But I think that the Abra family only has good special defense in Gen 1 because they hadn't split it yet. I think they're fairly fragile to both types of attacks in all other games. You'd think I'd know this because I've used the Kadabra and Alakazam like 5 times, but most of those times were in Gen 1, so like, not only would I have been going off of the wrong like set of stats, I couldn't even remember if I got that. Not only was that the case, but also like it's Gen 1 and you're gonna kill everything instantly with Kadabra anyway, so I would have never had a chance to find out. Alright, so this place has some interesting music, and it has people levitating coffee cups in front of their face. Totally not a Game Boy. Alright, so yeah, there's a few trainers here. Once I clean these people up, then we're gonna be completely caught up with everything and I can head on to the gym. I'm gonna guess he has a Pikachu. Judging from his shirt and his kid next to him, that he's roped into his own personal interests. But that is a generic sprite. If it's not a Pikachu, it's either a Snubbull or a Meryl. Oh, it's okay. Well, I guess I wasn't too far off. So here's another thing. I want to say Tail Whip is actually 100 accuracy, but there's like this weird thing in the coding of the Gen 1 and 2 games where all status moves like that have a like 25% chance of just failing anyway if used by the AI. It's kind of dumb. Like, it makes the game easier, so I guess it's not a bad thing, but I mean, the game isn't that hard anyway, so it's like, eh. I don't know why they'd do that, though. It just seems really weird. Unless it was just an oversight. I would not be surprised if it was. It's dead. Slightly off topic, but me just saying it's dead reminded me of a fanfic I've been reading. I don't usually read fanfics because a lot of them are kind of shitty, but this one's actually pretty good. If you've ever heard of Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality, this is based off of that to a certain extent. It's called, what is it, On the Origin of Species? Let me actually look it up. That way I can tell you the author also. It is... Yeah, it's Pokémon The Origin of Species by Daystar ELD. That might actually be slightly cut off. I can't tell if the name is longer than that. But it's basically just kind of a look at the Pokemon world if things were slightly realistic. Much like the Harry Potter one is, like, what if there was logic behind magic and you had a main character that, like, was trying to understand how it worked and applied, like, real-life science to it. That's kind of what's happening in this one. It still has, like, fantastical technology, like Pokeballs, that don't exist in real life, and, like, teleportation and stuff, but, it kind of is almost like the tabletop game that I wanted to make and never did, in the sense that, Pokemon are basically just wild animals. They don't have, like, sentience or human-like intelligence, and they don't just faint, they can die, and this is, like, a legitimate threat. Like, not only do you have to be careful to not kill the thing that you're fighting if you want to catch it, but, you have to be careful they don't kill you, because that's, very much a risk. Like, Viridian Forest was not fucking around. Not to spoil what went on in case you want to read it. Like, the story is basically, it follows Red and Blue, and also Leaf. It's not, like, it's not modeled after, like, the Gen 1 games specifically, as far as I can tell. Like, the wild Pokemon actually do include things from Gen 3 and 4 that you would find in, like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And it definitely does take place in the Gen 1 timeline, just based off of some stuff that I've seen, but it's not, like, sticking to, like, oh no, Team Rocket is a thing, whatever shall we do? Like, there's more to it than that. But yeah, they get to Viridian Forest, and, like, there's this massive fucking, like, natural disaster going on, and, like, Beedrills killed this one dude, and it got pretty bad. Like, I don't want to say any more than that, but I recommend it if you're into such things. Like, it's not specifically trying to be, like, super edgy, grimdark, but it's just, if you lived in a world with ferocious wild creatures everywhere that have these abilities, then yeah, you're gonna be in danger. So yeah, here's the Quick Claw. I don't know why there's always a teacher that gives you the Quick Claw. It's like this recurring trend in these games for some reason. So that would actually be useful to give to David, but I already gave him the King's Rock, so I'm going to hold off on that. That text message was from Martin saying they're on order number 49. It is 7:45 right now. Well, 7:47. But, so yeah, their store is freaking slow as shit. Did I say it was 49? Yeah, yesterday, when I went to work, it was a really fucking slow day, too. Like, normally on weekdays, we get to about 150. If there's not anything special going on, like, that's about the number we usually hit. Yesterday, we just barely hit 130, which isn't that big of a difference, but most of them, like, I think by the time I had gotten in at 5 o'clock, they were already on 50. And, like, they would come in, like, 2 or 3 at a time, and then I'd make them, and then there would just be nothing for 10 minutes. It was weird. But yeah, Martin's store is, like, super freaking slow. I wish I could go there. It would be so much better. Yeah, bag. That's the extent of my commentary. Yeah, bag. This is what I have come to. $3. Brown bricks. Boing, bam. Left leg, living in a world with no left leg. What would you do if you had no cake? Okay, I was gonna keep going with that one, but all of my songs involve legs, cake, dying cats, brown bricks, Minecraft, house, some combination of those things. It wasn't gonna be anything original. I wasn't gonna bust out a #1 jam. I actually don't know how often my songs include dying cats. I think like I think that stereotype is a bit overstated. But it's definitely something that does occur. Alright, well that was the last trainer, and we've very nearly gotten everybody up to the same level. I could fight, like, one wild Pokemon, but I'm not going to bother with that. Because I've still got gym trainers to deal with. Not too many, I think there's like 3. Not sure. So I'm wondering now if I'm actually going to be able to get through the gym without any theatrics, because it's never... I've never found it that hard. Like, anybody who knows this gym knows it specifically for Whitney's Miltank. And, like I said, if you have a diverse enough team and know how to deal with it, it's not that bad. But I could also get unlucky. Also, I must now just bring back my recollections of... I never watched the, like, Twitch Plays Pokemon stuff, but there was, like, one time I tuned into it, and they were doing Crystal, and, I actually watched the Whitney fight, and they somehow got this ludicrous amount of luck and actually got through the battle, like, really easily. And then, like, after beating it, a bunch of people started saying, guys, we still have to milk Whitney. Because apparently there was this, ongoing, like, this stupid running gag from the first Twitch Plays Pokemon. After they beat Misty, there were a bunch of people that were still saying we need to go beat Misty because they, like, missed it or something and weren't aware, or they were just being dipshits and doing it for the lulz. So, I don't know, it just transformed into that. Yep, this is our normal gym, and it took a lot of people a long time to realize that the inside of this gym is shaped like a Clefairy. I don't know if I would have noticed it specifically if it wasn't for the fact that I had the strategy guide that showed the map of it, because it's pretty obvious if you're looking at the full picture. But yeah, it's very pink. It is full of a bunch of, like, Valley Girl or, like, cutesy, like, obsessed with adorable things, girl stereotype, people, trainer things. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. And I have one very specific complaint about Whitney's team that is not related to the Miltank being annoying. And I might as well get into that right now, because it's something I've touched on with previous gym leaders, and it's still a problem with this one. People not having Gen 2 Pokemon in their teams, basically. She does have the Miltank. I'll give them that much. They could have just not given her anything, but they at least did that, so that's fine. But as with Falconer, who probably should have had a Hoot Hoot, or like a Natu, or something like that, and Bugsy, who could have had freaking anything other than a Kakuna or Metapod, it's almost like in Gen 2, they made a new Pokemon that was normal type, which is the type of this gym, and is pink, and is kind of like frilly, girly looking in some respects. Not all respects, but kind of. And is, has a Pokedex entry that specifically says that, like, women find it adorable. And then they have a gym leader who specializes in pink normal types, whose personality is she likes cute stuff. Somebody want to explain to me why they didn't give her a Snubbull? Like, could it have possibly fit any more? Now, I mean, I personally don't find Snubbull to be cute. I think it's kind of an ugly bastard. But I feel that way about, like, normal bulldogs, and they're apparently kind of like, people feel one way or the other, and it's like, if you don't understand it, you never will. But that's why I said, like, the Pokédex specifically says, like, all women everywhere find it adorable. There is no exception to that. Like, they don't word it that way, but that's just how I've always interpreted it. I don't know, it's like, there it is, in all of its ugly, shitty glory, but, I mean, come on. They gave it to a different person in the gym, why not to Whitney? What am I doing? I'm not paying attention. Let me spread the experience a bit, though. And then size jumping. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I've avoided doing that up to this point. Usually I have random Pokemon bios spread throughout the episode. Oh, come on. Random Pokemon bios spread throughout the episode to force me to not have to, like, talk about nothing for over an hour. In this video, I did not have that luxury, so I'm resorting to this. Yeah, this thing's, I would, like, switch to a different move. Like, I know that its attack is better than its special attack, and Scratch would probably do about the same amount of damage, honestly, once you include Stab, so it's like, whatever. If I had used a Leer from the beginning, maybe, but, eh. And we've got one left, and I'll go leave and heal. I don't really care who gets the experience. I'm just kind of trying to make sure it's not the same Pokemon every time. I'm thinking Jigglypuff. I think I remember it being a Jigglypuff. Oh, it's 3 things, okay. Bridget just makes me think of Ambition. Was Bridget... Like, I'm trying to remember. Because she was the one that was married to Ted, right? And... like... she wasn't the, like, holds up violin... person, but was the one who was in jail going, help, 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 help. And then, like, circles around you intimidatingly, like, yelling at you for not doing a good job as her lawyer. But then you were like, now listen here, I'll let you know that I do the daily crossword in the newspaper, and I solve it in under an hour each time. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize. Oh, geez, okay. Ambition is really a great series. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to watch it. It's the freaking best thing. Just search... like, it's on Retsupre's channel if you ever watch any of their stuff, but if you don't, you can probably just search, like, Ambition Flash Game and you'll find it. It's a work of art. Amazing Grace! Now I'm going down this tangent specifically because of a name. But yeah, alright, let's go ahead and try and wrap this thing up. I say as I go into the Pokemon Center to heal for the 20th time this video, and then slowly head back, and then go through the quote-unquote maze. So, when I say wrap this up, I mean in like another 2 or 3 minutes, but either way. I'm curious what kind of random crap we're going to be seeing from her first Pokemon, because even if you know how to deal with the Miltank, you can still get some unlucky garbage to occur. It's not likely, but it can happen, especially if you're underleveled and like speedrunning and are named Worster. So let's actually lead with Julie again, just because I feel like it. Alrighty. Everyone was into Pokemon, so I got into it too. The way that's worded, it sounds like it was this passing fad, whereas in this world, it's just the only thing that anybody ever cares about. But anyway, here's a Clefairy. And is it going to use Sacred Fire? Well, I'm expecting it to use something weird, I just don't know what. What do we got? Okay. Not the most threatening move, but it was at least something unique. I guess we'll see, like, one other move. There's really no other strategy to fight this thing other than just hit it a few times and hope that it goes dead before you do. Like, it's not that strong. It could use, like, Explosion or something. But, I mean, then at least you'd be rid of it also. I don't know. Alright, so here we've got the real star of the team, and, just in case, again, if you've not played a Gen 2 game and you don't know why everyone fears this Miltank, there's a few reasons why. Its moveset is just genuinely a piece of shit. It knows Attract, so if you're using a male Pokemon, it basically renders half of your turns useless. It knows Milk Drink, so it can heal itself. It knows Stomp, which can cause flinching. And it knows Rollout, which is just an annoying move that builds power and destroys your team if you don't let it... Like, basically, if you give it a chance to. So, I'm gonna try to confuse it if it doesn't kill me. Which it did, so never mind. Let's see, I can poison it. I think I'm gonna go for poison. This is a time when I do not want this move to miss. Also, Reflect would actually be useful, because that'll have physical attacks, so... Problem is, it's probably gonna outspeed me and use Attract or some bullshit, so let me try to poison it first. Yep. Okay. But yeah, my only female team member actually already died, so I'm gonna have to deal with Attract for the rest of this battle. Oh boy, Rollout. And here's where the confusion would be useful, because Rollout is only a threat if it hits consecutively. If you can stop it in its tracks, then it's not so bad. But, like, I can't paralyze it. Even if I could, I already poisoned it, so that's out of the question, and my only confusion-causing move that I can think of died with Julie, so... That's alright. I'm probably overthinking this battle. It's really not that bad. If you're not prepared for it, it can easily kind of ruin you. I'm getting pretty good luck with this Attract, though. Of course, I say that as that happens. Will I survive this hit? No. Okay, so here's where I hopefully win through just tanking hits. It's still locked into Rollout, so it's not going to try to use Attract. Let me actually get its defense down a little bit before I start missing with Rock Throw. Not that it will live anyway, because it's dying from poison, but if it stops using Rollout, it's going to use Milk Drink, so... Yep. Okay. Here is where I do not want you to miss with Rock Throw, so please do well here. Okay. Can we get another one of those? Criticals are also nice. I don't think the poison is going to kill it, but a tackle... Well, no, it's going to use Milk Drink again, probably. Yeah. If I can get it into, like, a healing cycle, that would not be ideal, because I still have to continually hit it and hope to get lucky with, like, criticals and stuff. As I am. I don't know, I mean, there's... I could also use Bind. That would cause residual damage. But the moment I stop getting it into the red, it's gonna use Attract, so it's like... It's... is it gonna heal from that? Probably. Get its defense down again. Okay. That was a critical hit, apparently. Okay, now it's locked into rollout, so I should be able to kill it with a tackle. I'm not going to risk the lower accuracy. If not, it'll die from poison. Yep. You just kind of have to understand how the AI works and manipulate it. And here is the first of 2 gym leaders in this game that throw a hissy fit when you beat them. A little bit pointless, but I suppose it adds character. A lot of the Gen 2 gym leaders kind of lack any noticeable character. So, I will take what I can get. Surprisingly not as bad as the Gen 6 gym leaders, though. Those are the most forgettable motherfuckers of all time. But, anyway. Beat the gym, got Attract. And now I can Squirt and a Tree. But I will not be doing that now. So, like I said, Pokemon bios for... What was it? Venonat, Paris... No, Venonat, Oddish, Psyduck, Drowsy, Croconaw, and Pinsir are due now. Like, I'll have to just make an extra video with those, because I'm sure as hell not gonna bother editing them into this one. I don't really have time for that, so expect that sometime later in the week, or early next week or something, I don't know. And the next time we will be moving on to, I guess, Ecruteak, and probably taking care of the gym there without much of a break between them. I don't know, there might be. There's a couple other things I can do. We will find out.